even if it's not the place where the alum works, we're in the industry, we know a lot of the major players, get in touch with us and probably at least give you a sense.
So we talked about, or you guys talked about how, your military experience got you to where you are now. But let's put these guys here at a greater advantage than you guys were. What did you not do that you wish you had? Now that you've had you've had successful careers, looking back on it, is there something that you didn't do when you were in college or you wish you had done, or you realize that if I only had done X, I'd be doing this better?
I would have traveled more, and I would have really taken even more advantage of, I was so focused about what I wanted to do when I was here. I wanted to do theater and creative writing. Those were the classes I was interested in, and I was so focused. And choice has its advantages, of course, but I feel like I could have been even more diverse. When I'm looking at writers or people want to come in as editorial assistants, and if I've seen that they lived in somewhere in Indonesia for a year and they learned how to cook Indonesian food and live with the family, and then they that's that wows me when someone is culturally very rich. I wish I took advantage of that more, maybe because I was so focused on getting my career started, which you kind of have to be to some degree, but I just went right into things. I worked in Boston for a nonprofit first in an arts program, and then I went right to the Radcliffe Publishing course, which is now at Columbia, which was great, and then I was in it. So I've been doing this for so long, I didn't take the time, I think, to just, and I don't mean go to Amsterdam, backpack, that's cool too, but really interesting, and sort of off the beaten track stuff. I've had students come to me who have gone to, Eastern Europe, they've gone to Asia, they've gone to Africa, they've spent real deep time there, and that just enthralls me as a person, because I think, okay, you're daring, you're interesting, you're curious, and I think the number one thing to being on, the editing journalism side is you need to be very curious. You need to ask lots of questions, and you need to be interested in all kinds of things. So I feel like it demonstrates to me that if you're out there in the world, that's cool. And you might have to convince your parents about doing that. But and I do a lot of interviews for the alumni, and I see that people are so driven in high school now, and then they go right into college, and they go right into their career. And I ask them, so who are you? Where have you been outside of this track? And I think the time maybe to do that now, before you get into your career, and after you're done with your degree, that's the time to do it. And that's probably the one thing I wish I had done, is just taking a little more advantage of those sort of more eccentric courses, taking a little more advantage of then going off into the world and trying to use it somehow, and then getting started. Because people will, when they look at your resume, they want to see something that's not cookie cutter. They want to see something that's a little bit different. And then it might help with what your specialty is going to be, whatever it might be. I mean, travel writing, whatever it's going to be, I think it can help you. It can't hurt you, for sure.
Sort of on that note, I'd say do a little soul searching. There's so much pressure, all your friends in banking probably have jobs already, and you're thinking, oh, I've got to get a job, And I ended up leaving our Fender partners because I felt like I was doing PR and sort of pushing these products that I didn't really care about. And I went to the hospital because I wanted to be doing PR for something that I really believed in. And I wish that I had taken a little more time and put some more feelers out there. I mean, I ended up where I wanted to be, but to find something that I truly, truly believed in, that I could get behind. So, think about it a little, and don't be too threatened by the crunch to get a job now.
Well, I would encourage people to, as they look at internships, externships, and even when they leave school, to again, to echo some of the comments, to try to find something that your heart is in. Career paths are fine, but you can always come back to your career or to whatever interests you. I burnt out on writing, but I've come right back to it, and it's like 20 years later. And some of the things that I like to write about, I don't know if being at Middlebury in the class of '88, the last year we were grandfathered in for the 18-year-old drinking age. And I don't know if that came into play, what I write about now, but I do write for Yankee Brew News on occasion. I've written and done podcasts on Apple Brandy. There are all kinds of great things. I host a segment Eric Felton, who's the Wall Street Journal's cocktail columnist. Once a week is his column that we have to shoot a few more of those segments. But things always come back around. I would probably I have a great love of food and beverages, and I probably would have or should have done something in those areas, but I was really focused. But it's come back around, so I feel like, again, I don't feel like the time has been wasted or long.
I feel very lucky in my time at Middlebury. I was a Feb. I really wanted to go to Middlebury. I felt so lucky to be here. I had a wonderful experience, and I think kind of to twist the question a bit, I don't have any regrets or woulda, shoulda, coulda while I was here. I just feel very fortunate now where I am to have had the experience of when I get stressed out at work, I think of the mountains, or when I have amazing friends from this place, and I do feel that's different than other schools and universities. So I just think as much as you can sort of be present here and really take in what Middlebury has to offer. Like I took a dance class and my dad was like, "You want me to pay for what?" But that was
Just
great
don't tell
to
them
me.
what you're paying.
Yeah, it was just great for me that it was in this very safe environment and sort of explore as much as you can and really just sort of absorb it as much as you can, because someday you'll be sitting at your desk dreaming, like, have a Middlebury banner because you're like, oh, remember those days. So just, I don't know, just to have fun and enjoy.
It's not that bad.
And do
The real world's
internships
really-
and do research and blah, 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 blah.
It is, I will sort of speak as a fairly recent graduate. The real world is actually a lot of fun. Don't be scared. I know I was sitting in your shoes and sort of seeing, do I really want to leave this place? It's such a safe little bubble, and everyone says it's so scary out there. Why do I want to leave? You don't have homework out there. It's great. Like if you're lucky enough to leave work at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, the time is your own. You can do that, and there are great resources, and and there are great friends, and there are lots of things you could do and to stay busy. But the real world is not a scary place. It's actually a lot of fun, and like you've heard, a lot of us have kind of, I don't want to say bounced around. That has a negative connotation, but I think have been flexible in our career paths. And I think, well, you may want to start out with the perfect job for you. You can only really learn by doing, and you learn what you like by getting there. And that's why internships are really so valuable if you're lucky enough to be able to find a great one. Like I said, I stumbled in and I had no idea what media planning was, and I got the internship, and I was like, all right, people here are nice, it sounds kind of cool, and it's at a big ad agency, I'll figure out what that's all about. And when I went there, I was like, okay, this is a big ad agency. Like, this is a very cool experience. And then I went to a smaller ad agency, and now by seeing both sides of it, I now know that I like something in between. You learn by doing, and you learn by talking to people, but don't be afraid to take that step, to start something, and then be okay if a year later you want to try something new. I mean, it's don't be frivolous with it. You are working for a company. It is a huge responsibility, but be open to learning on the job. I mean, that's sort of more of a